Welcome. This is Richard Hosnote, and I want to welcome you to another Innovation Best Practices episode, where every episode is designed to help you sell more and make more using only proven and practical innovation best practices that I believe can work for virtually any business and any innovation need. I want to give a special welcome to our listeners around the world, now in over 104 countries. Welcome back. We have a couple of free offers going on right now, so if you're interested, you can pay attention. I have a free consulting session. All you need to do is provide me details by sending me an email. The email is at the end of this episode, and tell me what and how I can help you what I can help you with. We also have a free newsletter issued twice a month, has insights not available in any of the episodes. You can just send me an email and say, "Hey, Richard, I'd like to get your newsletter." We're doing a major expansion of our Innovate to Grow experts website, i2ge.com, where we're helping companies double their innovation success rate to achieve consistent sales and profit growth. We're the only consulting company using the 6 most proven innovation best practices. If you'd like to know exactly what they are, just go to the i2ge, that's letter I, number 2, ge.com website, and scroll down to the bottom, and you'll see the 6 best practices that we use to help every client help double their innovation success from the start of the innovation process all the way to marketplace success. So check it out. Today we're going to be focusing on what we can learn from innovation from the Model T, and both positively and not so positively. And this is from a Harvard Business Review article that I'm sharing with you. So I think it's a good source. So here's an overview. We're going to be talking about innovation and the role of customer feedback, and a long-running argument. Should you involve customer feedback in the innovation process or rely on a visionary's brilliant insights? I mean, anytime I see one of these statements that say, or, it's kind of like you can do one or the other. Why can't you do both? So I'd like to do both. So Henry Ford's Model T immediately jumped out of a very crowded group of companies developing the first automobiles. His innovations initially propelled the company to major success. The key word there is initially. Okay. Here's some of the Model T's initial innovative advantages. And I've touched on some of these before in a previous episode. He adopted successful innovations being used by competitors and companies in other industries, like interchangeable parts and the assembly line. He adapted the moving assembly line for automobiles, and the moving assembly line resulted in ability to sell the Model T at a much lower cost than competitive cars. He froze the design of the Model T. He did it for a reason, which was if he didn't make any design changes, he wouldn't have to make adjustments to his all-important assembly line efficiencies. So the Model T is what it is, he would say. These efficiencies helped him to sell the car at even lower prices to customers. And this approach worked for a while. In 1908, he sold 10,000 cars. In 1915, he sold 472,350, and 5 years later, he sold 933,720 cars. How can you argue with success? Well, the Model T primarily competed on price, and up until the 1920s, what customers wanted from a car and what they were offered by competitors remained rather static until the 1920s. General Motors began to bring additional innovation to the car industry. And a particular point of vulnerability was Henry Ford's statement that customers could have a Model T in any color, so long as it was black. We look back on it and laugh a little bit now, but again, this was all about efficiency, was where the innovation worked, at least until General Motors. General Motors' strategy was best summed up as a car for every purse and purpose. Installment selling was a significant innovation that made cars more affordable to a broader audience. Used car trade-ins, you kind of wonder where that came from, huh? Was an innovation that also made cars more affordable to a broader audience. So installment selling and used cars. And they introduced closed car models, closed to the external weather. Now, there's an idea. They also introduced annual model changes. Remember, Henry Ford froze the Model T. It will not change. Well, General Motors introduced annual model changes, which became a platform for new innovations and constant innovation. Interesting. Well, in 1921, Ford had about a 67% market share, but it dropped to 33%, or half of that, in 1926, only 5 years later. In 1927, Ford began to respond, but not easily. Major financial cost and internal strategy struggles. By the time Ford introduced its Model A, their market share had dropped to about 15% from 67%. Whoa! Innovation propelled the Model T to dramatic success, but a lack of continuing innovation produced near catastrophic business and financial results. Take note. Henry Ford was not a fan of involving customers in the innovation process. Some claim that he said, if I asked customers what they wanted, they would say they wanted a faster horse. And he's probably right. His genius and vision created an initial success story. General Motors pioneered listening to customer needs, and that helped them to create major innovative competitive advantages versus the Model T. Genius produces success, but it did not perpetuate that success. Again, for continuous innovation, involving customers in the process is an important insight that everyone should pay attention to. Here's some concluding thoughts. Customer involvement in the innovation process is ultimately critical to innovation success, but that role has to be the right role. Customers generally are not very visionary. When asked, they would only make modest improvements to existing products. Understanding customer needs can inspire innovative advances in meeting those needs. When you have an innovative idea, customer feedback can make it even better. So when you have an innovative idea, maybe inspired by customer insights, then is a good time to get customer feedback about how you can make an innovative idea even better. So in my mind, I want both. I want a visionary's inputs, and I want the consumer's inputs in the innovation process. Okay? If you'd like more innovation best practices, all you need to do is go to my website, i2ge, that's the letter I, number 2ge.com. On the left-hand side on the menu bar is a DIY innovation training button, do-it-yourself innovation training. Click on it. A whole bunch of training programs will pop up. If there's not one that meets your exact needs, just send me an email. I'll be glad to tailor one to your unique needs. And here's what I'm trying to do with this. I'm trying to make you innovation self-sufficient, which can save you tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars so that you won't have to pay expensive consultants like me and others to do it for you. Another innovation best practices resource is one of the 6 books that I've published titled Proven Practical Innovation That Delivers Results. It's available only on Amazon in paperback and Kindle versions. It's priced below my break-even cost, so it's a heck of a value. If you have suggestions, comments, or requests, I love hearing from listeners. Just send me an email to richard@i2ge.com. I look forward to hearing from you. In the next episode, we're going to talk about how IBM innovates and its insights that can help most companies. Every once in a while, as you know, I've talked recently Google and Apple and some others and their best practices. I try to take a peek into some of the most successful companies, especially the longer-term successful companies, and say, hey, what can be learned from them that can help all of us? So make sure you tune in for this episode. As all of you know, I'm deeply appreciative of you taking time out of a busy day to listen to these episodes. I look forward to reconnecting with you soon. And until then, please have a great day.